Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Minecraft with John. I don't know if I've said anything about this yet, but I should be going to first shift in a few weeks, so that's going to be really cool for me. But that means my progress on builds might slow down some. No more skipping around and making a whole bunch of gains between videos. So we'll see. I'm hoping I can still build some. I found out that snow is stackable. You can, let me show you. I didn't know this. You can build it up. And then, you get to a full block and you do start another block. Yeah, that's pretty cool. So I kind of did a little snow drift up towards the house here. Yeah, what I'm doing right now is adding land and such, but what we're going to do is we're going to make the map bigger. So let's check that out and see what happens. Play a game. And yeah, this is just called New World. I have Builty McBuildertonville, King Details from Missouri, and Taco Truck. More options. Now we don't want to overwrite world edges. You can see it changes the outer 32 blocks, so it would screw up a lot of my house stuff. But we're going to make this into a I'm not sure if I want to do medium or large, because large is really big. It's like 25 maps. That's freaking huge. Let's do medium. That should be good. I'm sitting here thinking, like, well, if I make it large, maybe it will make this map the same as it was the last time I expanded the map, and I can build my survival island again. Yep, we're gonna make it large. And see what we come up with. This ought to be pretty cool. Alright, all that's the same, but the difference is this. And since I didn't mess with the outer 32 tile edges, it left a river essentially all the way around my center middle map. But what we gotta do, we need to see if this is the same as the last time I expanded the map. It is. guys this was here. Oh, guys, this is awesome. Not this. This is no big deal. This is awesome because that means Survival Island will be here. Let's just take 64 of those. Nope. All right, guys, let's go restart Survival Island. Huh, I don't feel like I'm going very fast. I don't know why it's not letting me use it. That's weird. Oh well, we'll just keep traveling this direction and we ought to run into it. If it's the same. I hope it's all the same. This would be why I can't use any of my maps. There we go. Yep. Oh, this is crazy, guys. It's been quite a while since I've been here. This is Survival Island. This is how it started. And if you've seen my other videos, you know how big this ended up. I'm being quiet here because, you know, everyone's asleep and my kid's in there passed out in the room next to me, but yeah, I am really, really excited that I'm going to get to remake Survival Island. And like everything I've done, it should be bigger and better. Oh, this is outstanding. Yep, I'm telling you guys, I didn't expect this, but it is the exact same. Oh, this is awesome. I'm so glad I picked the large option. Let's go ahead and get rid of that. Because cave spiders. Cave spiders suck. And this thing is huge. Yeah, this complex is beyond huge. I think it's the biggest one I've ever come across. Let's get back out of it. And it's going to take me, it's going to take some time to rebuild Survival Island, but we're going to do it. And we're going to attach it to my subway system. For some reason, it just doesn't feel like it's as big or as far out. I don't know what the deal is there. Okay, so now what I do is I pause my recording and I start looking at my older videos, and then we'll come back with some coordinates laid out so I can expand it to the size it was. And then once we expand it to the size it was and start getting some of that stuff going again, then we'll remake it bigger, better. So let's come right back. Alright guys, here's kind of what I have laid out for my survival island. I kind of put the house where it was, sort of, I think. I can't remember if I built the land up any higher or not. It seems like I did. I don't know. I can work on that though. That's not a big deal. I think this is roughly the size. It might not have, the only line I'm sure of is this line over here. I know that is the right distance out because of that hole that goes down to that mine shaft. It was that my land ended 2 blocks past that. But as far as this side goes and this, it's all kind of a guess. But I do know that, you know, I have a big beach area out here and a forest area over here. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm doing. I feel like this one's way further out than it was originally. I won't bore you guys with all of this here that I'm doing, but some of this is going to have sand above it. And sand, as you probably know, is subject to physics in this game. I'm kind of looking at... Oh, I see, okay. So I actually had... right there. And then 1, 2, and right there. Okay, so my grass actually started off that block that was already there and came over this way. So now we have sand pretty much all the way around. I know I could have just dropped 1 block down and then went all the way around and put 1 block under, but I'm just trying to get an idea of how big this is going to be. Really, I think I just need to go ahead and cut back across right here. There's just a few more walkways that hurt, right? My allergies are actually killing me. My voice is almost out. That was all clogged up. Fun stuff, fun stuff. It's raining on me. Okay, now. My grass comes up a little bit further on this side because I have a farm, which I'll build right off here, off the island, so we'll start the sand here. And am I going to drop the sand in and let it fill in the whole area? That would take a long time. That's what I did in the past. Like that. We'll see. I'm not sure. I mean, I did it, but it took a long stinking time. Excuse me, guys. Sorry about that. Bit of a sneeze. Yeah, that's the basis for Survival Island right there. I know the sand I got removed. I want it to be similar, so I mean not exact, but I was extremely pleased with Survival Island, and it was I'm very upset that I lost it. Zoof. Did I have any more land? Actually, I did have a little bit more land up here. We'll make it 3 more. And then we'll bring that one down and connect it. To this one. Gross. Apologize. No one wants me trying to bring you through that. Okay. Yeah, that's looking good. Looking real good. So now, I'll fill in the land of Survival Island. And trust me, guys, I haven't forgot about the other thing. So looks like it was just 2 or 3 blocks in. The other thing being my neighborhood that I built on Survival Island. I really suggest you go watch my Survival Island videos. Not too shabby. One of my earlier videos is only over 11 minutes and 1 second long. I think that's about right. And it came up all the way over here to this edge. The first time around, this neighborhood edition that I added was bigger than the island itself. And I hope I recorded and made some of those houses. I really like those houses I made. I think I can probably remember how to do it. But I liked it so much. Like, I built 12 of the houses and I was going to build more, and I thought it was real cool, blah blah blah, all that stuff. I think that one's actually, so we'll go over here and bring this one across. It's still about the length I want. This might have to get expanded or made smaller or something because the houses were very symmetrical. There were 12 of them. They were exactly the same. They had the same crops in the backyard, the same little chicken farm, the same everything. Yeah, that's looking good, guys. Yeah, this is yeah, a tiny little island here in the center, and it ends up being this massive thing I build. I don't know. I'm kind of weird like that, I guess. I'm not going fast enough. I know I built up the land a bunch. Had it all nice and flat, had walkways and trees, and I can watch my video and look and see all of it. I don't know how it was laid out, but since I didn't bring up the map or give any coordinates exactly of how it was, it's going to take me, it's going to take some time to build back in a similar fashion, but I do want it to look similar, you know. I build my dock, and I build the ship, and I'll have my neighborhood over here. If you guys haven't noticed when I build, I do a lot of freaking terraforming. I see some people build kind of with the land and stuff, but I always have to make my own land, apparently. The thing about doing it like this, though, is kind of already knowing what I want. It doesn't take me as long, which is cool. Okay. And I had that last time too. I had that hole there that led down to the mine shaft, so we'll fix that up later and take all the water out of it and then add water just at the bottom so I can fall into it. Or I might do a lighter this time. I should have done a lighter last time, but I didn't. Kind of excited about this. Kind of really excited to have my survival island back. I've been a lot more careful about saving. Yep, saving. And making sure the game is turned off when I'm done, not just like paused or hidden in the background, because that's how you lose stuff. Now what I did in the last one, guys, is I went along the outsides of this, which I guess this is the outside here, and I dropped sand like this. You can see it building up on the bottom of the ocean down there. It's kind of cool. But I just went back and forth and I dropped sand until sand was built all the way up to the edges, so that way it looked like a real island, so you could come up and you could go under it. There were areas under it that you could, you know, dig down into, and it's this big open watery area. What is this? Huh. Ain't that something? But all the outsides were filled in, and I'll probably do that again. And I even like worked it out away some, so it wasn't just a straight up wall. It kind of slanted around. I spent a lot of time making it kind of look how I wanted. I did, but I don't know if I'll do that this time. It kind of isn't really worth it. It's a lot of work and a lot of time for a relatively small payoff. Uh-oh, I run down a potion. Got a little storm happening. The thing is, if I don't add all the, what I'll have to basically here is like run a layer of dirt right underneath, like one layer down, just like this one here, all the way over, and then put all the sand on top of it. Which, that seems kind of boring. But I kind of, like, I know it's going to take forever to do it the other way. But the other way, you know, doing it and letting the sand fall and fill everything in just feels right. Looks like that's what I did the first time I made this and kind of want to do it again. Anyway, build this one in here. I tell you, you know, I told you guys all nights before, I'm normally up all night. Tonight I slept from like 11 to 2. I don't know, I just got tired and I'm sitting there on the couch and just laid over and fell asleep. That's not typical for me, however, I'm really happy I did that because, it's getting harder and harder to work nights. I never really was a night person. But I always did end up working nights my first job. I worked at a restaurant, and so, you know, I got out of there around 10:30, 11 in the night. But still, it's like every Friday, Saturday night, all through high school, I was at work. And that sucked. It seems like most of the jobs I've had, I've ended up on a night shift, even though I haven't necessarily wanted to, just for school or for this or for that. Or, you know, this shift pays more or some reason I always end up doing. Yep, just about done with all that, so. I got a job where I currently work as a pricing analyst. It's just the type of job I want looking for an analyst type positions, especially a pricing analyst type position for a while. I've got a few more weeks in my current job on that to train somebody up and then make the move. So hopefully by the time this video comes out, I will be in that position. I'm not really... Actually, if everything works out how it's supposed to by the time this video comes out, I will have been in that position for a while. Month or two. My wife is super happy because now I'll be home every night and every evening. I tell you, when you're married, if you like your significant other, some people get married and don't like their significant other. Kind of silly. But if you like that person, but then you're only home, like, you know, if that person works at, you know, Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, normal type gig, and then you're home, just 2 or 3 of those evenings a week, and then maybe one weekend day, or for the longest time, I wasn't even home during the weekends. I mean, I can get up and be around a bit, but I'm just like stupid zombie tired. And the current schedule I have is one of the best ones I've had for any of the time I've done nights, which has been about 6 years now, while I was doing my bachelor's and master's degree. And that takes me away a lot. The time I was awake or up and around, I was doing homework, and yeah, so that took a bunch of time. But anyway, I don't know where I was going with that. Yeah, I've had scheduled for like Wednesday night through Sunday night, and it was an 8-hour day, but like I go in before she gets home, and coming home after she's gone to bed, At least when I did that schedule, I could get up around 10 or 11 in the morning. If I got home at 2 a.m. or something, or whatever time it was. I don't remember exactly how it worked out now, but I get home and get to bed, and I can get up at a decent time. The schedule I have now is 5 p.m. to 5 a.m. But it's like 3.5 days a week, so it's only 40 hours. So it puts me home, because of the 3.5 days. My half day is the back half of the night. So yeah, I'm home 4 evenings a week now. And it's like, oh, that's amazing. It seems kind of funny. It's like it's just 4 evenings. You know, most people, if they choose to, could have. See, my beach isn't going to be as big. Actually, it's going to be bigger because it's a lot wider. Yeah, it'll be fun. You know, a lot of people have, if they choose it, they can have, and yeah, I'm letting sand drop, guys. But a lot of people, you know, if they choose it, they have like seven evenings at home. And then, you know, plus the time you're with the person on Saturday and Sunday. And sometimes I think it's kind of funny because, like, my wife will want to do something or go do this, or what am I trying to say? It's not that I don't have time to do the things I want to do, but I kind of don't, because the little bit of time is like, hey, we gotta go visit her family, gotta go visit my family, gotta do this, gotta do that, and that's pretty much like my time off. It's just doing a little bit of visiting that people might normally do on just a Saturday or something. But I get so little time off when everyone else is up and when everyone's awake that I just can't do normal things. And it's not that bad. I mean, I'd like to be home and do normal hours. Some people are overseas for months or even years away from their spouse, so it could definitely be worse. I always like, sometimes even though I might complain about something, you know, I didn't like this or that, or this job hasn't been that great in some aspect, I always remember there are people that have it a lot worse than me. I feel like my gripes and complaints aren't really, not that they're not valid, but they're not really worth it. See, this is going to take forever. For whatever reason, when I go to the left, it doesn't want to always put all the blocks out. I don't know why. Okay, so that area up there will be the swimming pool, kind of like it was last time, so I'll go ahead and make that. Oh, I don't know what I did there. What I want to do is extend this sand over a bit. And I'm still letting it fall at this point. Yeah, we'll run it out one more. Okay, that is different than it was last time, but it's fine. It is just fine. Okay, that would be the swimming pool. So I'm going to have to go around the outside here because I can't fill in the swimming pool. But the rest of it, I'm going to put a layer of dirt underneath. And then just put the sand on top because it'll be fine. And then what I probably will do is go around the outside of it all, and then just get the sand up to just right to below the water line, so it looks like a solid island, but it won't be, basically. Do want to cover the dirt here. I might go back once I finish this and fill or take the dirt out on the inside. No, I can't because that's holding the sand up. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so you see kind of how that looks there. I'll have to do some more work because the swimming pool didn't have any dirt in it. It was all sand. My kind of concept for Survival Island after I worked on it for a while was it wasn't necessarily a survival island, it was kind of like a weekend getaway resort type thing. Or maybe somewhere a rich person stays for 3 or 4 weeks off, and then all the, there we go. So the swimming pool outline's done, and then this whole neighborhood over here with like the servants and stuff that prepared everything and did everything for you. Super glad you can't drown in survival mode. Interesting. I know I should just be using dirt, but I'm using the grass blocks. The sun is going down. Oops, sorry guys, blowing in the microphone there. Yeah, this is going to be okay. Sometimes when I start doing stuff like this, I'm like, oh man, why am I doing this? Because I'm just going to have to go back and cover it all with sand. That's just a lot of repetitive back and forth. Let's get those lookout ones. That's what's important here. Super excited to start that job. I think I talked in my videos about the corporation I want to set up. I'm not real sure if I have or not, but I want to set up a business entity where I make entertainment, I guess. Mainly automotive-based content for YouTube. But I talked about wanting to buy a 2001 Bullitt Mustang. I might just get a GT. Bullets have some kind of specific parts to them that are hard to replace or hard to fix if you mess those parts up, experience parts, but and then I thought, well, I could start making some of those pieces, recreating them in fiberglass, but then I started looking at them and there are curves and such that it could be hard to pull out of a mold, I guess. They were designed basically as polyurethane or plastic pieces, that the mold was 2 pieces that could be pulled apart, I think. So if I was making it in a kind of a fiberglass mold, there are some angles which would be kind of, I guess, kind of stuck in, tucked behind stuff, so it wouldn't really work, I think. I've never done it before. I know about doing that stuff, but I've never done it myself. But yeah, it wouldn't really matter because I mean, like if I got a GPE. I mean, I guess it's kind of fun. Part of the fun of cars and stuff is, you know, trying to find that part you're looking for, or trying to search for this stuff. You know, the bullets have specific to them. The C-pillars or cell panels are the same as the 04 Mach 1s, 0304 Mach 1. But the other body parts that make the bullet look like a bullet are kind of specific to the bullet, which is the side skirts or rocker panels, whatever you want to call them. They look extremely similar to the 0304 Cobra, except behind the front tire they have like tiny little built-in mud flat pieces, which is kind of cool. And then they also have, instead of the side scoops sticking out behind the doors, they have kind of like a flat recessed panel. Recessed and flat, those aren't the same things. But it's just kind of almost looks like more of a block-off panel. You know, they're not trying to have like fake scoops, which was kind of funny because when they came out with the car, like the guy who was doing the design work for it and trying to make it look cool. Also, they don't have rear spoilers; it's just a flat trunk plate. But anyway, the guy was, you know, trying to make it look cool and make it real simple and understated. So he hated the fake scoops on the Mustangs, and but they left the fake scoop on the hood, which I thought was kind of funny. And I know why they did it. I think 01 was the first year for that on the GP, and they wanted the Bullet to kind of promote that fake hood scoop thing. I don't mind it. I think it looks cool. I just wish it wasn't quite so fake. I enjoy the Mach 1. That has a real shaker that, you know, even though it doesn't take in much air, it can take in air. Just want 2 more rows and this dirt will be done. Yeah, I plan to do, I used to do detailing, and I'll probably do some of that again. However, I'm very much going to gear my business towards hiring cars, or maybe not even hiring cars, but like show cars, weekend only stuff, where you need some paint correction and might be willing to pay for what that costs. Like, I can do a ton of detailing jobs and just cleaning cars and waxing this and that, but that's one, it's not really what I enjoy, because I don't necessarily enjoy just normal vehicles. I like modded vehicles, I like kind of rare stuff. So, and maybe this is kind of weird because I enjoy detailing, but I'm not doing it for the sake of detailing. I'm doing it for the car, to make the car look nicer, to make, that might sound really simple and silly, but I do a really good job, and I do good paint correction, buffing, and everything. I do really well. I think my son's waking up, but to me, it's not enjoyable to spend the time and do the work on somebody's daily driver, like, let's say Corolla or whatever, because it's just, like, I can put in all that work and it's just going to end up looking like crap again, going through automatic car washes and getting scratched up and all that stuff. And if I'm going to break out the buffers and do all that paint correction stuff, I want it to be on the cars that sit in the garage most of the time. Maybe that business plan, which I have extremely detailed business plans, but maybe that is a bit off base, and maybe I won't get that much business. It's fine though. There are benefits to having a business that don't necessarily require the business I am setting up doesn't require a lot of money. which is nice. I already have a lot of the equipment, so buying some replacement pads and chemical, products and stuff, it isn't that expensive, and I'm not going to be losing much money. So since I'm not going to be losing much money, I'm not necessarily interested in making a whole bunch, I guess. If that makes any sense at all. Well, I heard the little guy crying there. Maybe he was just having a bad dream or something. It's 3 a.m. When did we feed him? Fed him at like 8? He should be hungry. It's been a while. Like a dog, when they're hungry, like my pit bull, when she's hungry, like she doesn't really bark, but she'll come up and kind of go, whirr, kind of growl at you and then like bump you with her chest. And, she's saying like, follow me, and she'll go in there and look at her bowl, and I'm like, okay, you're hungry. Cool. A child, though, like an infant, you kind of have to know when they last ate and know how much they ate. And, the patterns change all the time because they're growing, so they might want to eat a little bit more, or might need to eat more amount of food in one sitting, or less food in multiple sittings. It's very interesting, and I never thought I would be able to do this, but you can definitely, or I can, me and my wife with my son. I imagine any parent with their own child, they can hear the different cries. So there's cries for when he's teething and then it's hurting him, and then there's cries when he's hungry. He's a happy little kid, though. Good to have a happy baby. Some babies are not very happy. They cry a lot. You can't really calm them down, but yeah, he's happy as can be. He wakes up and first thing he does is grab his toes and just start laughing. It's pretty cool. I'd also like to get another one of those Mustangs. I've already got the Oklahoma Mach 1, which it's really nice. But I'd like to get another one I can beat on a little bit and thrash on and stuff. But then also not one that I don't mind modifying it and changing it and taking it apart and putting it back together, because I want to use that, especially with my son, to teach him how to work on things. And those Mustangs are ridiculous simple, because they're based off the late 70s Fairmont. Ford had that chassis in production for a long time, and they got very good at making them very quick. And that leads to a car that almost like comes apart and goes back together like a Lego set. Very, very enticing to me, because it's all so simple and really basic and stuff. And yeah, you have to have some specialty tools for springs and stuff. Sometimes you don't have to have specialty tools for the rear springs, which is nice. The front being a strut setup, it does definitely help to have spring compressors to be able to change the front springs, but and sometimes, like fuel filters and stuff like that require those little kind of tools you press into the side of the fuel connector, and I've got that stuff. That's not a big deal, It's a good excuse to buy some new tools every now and then if you run into something that you need or you don't have. But for the most part, it's just basic tools. It's real easy to get to. I can change, or I've changed on my last GT. I changed the intake manifold because the coolant crossover cracked. It was plastic, and they later changed to I've still got to fill in all that dirt out there. That's the base of Survival Island, guys, though. Yeah. I didn't realize I was already that far along. Wow. Very cool. Still got a ways to go. But, what was I saying? I was saying something about something. Yeah, it's all basic hand tools. So the GT, intake manifold, that's what I was talking about. Had to plastic Phillips crossover. The new ones had an aluminum crossover for a cracked wiring harness. That's where I was going. Couldn't remember where I was going with that. You can take the wiring harness off the top of the motor in about, let's say, 30 minutes. And like you look under the hood of these newer cars, and 2004 is definitely a newer car, fuel injected, multi-point EFI and everything. So it definitely fits newer car category compared to stuff with carburetors. Cool, and that's where my farm will be. But you look under the hood and it's a bit daunting at first, but yeah, you can pull that. Oh, I didn't mean to fill that in. You can pull all that wiring harness off in 30 minutes. And actually, I found a video where a guy was changing the motor in a 9904 Mustang GT, and you can pull the whole wiring harness on the motor out with the motor by taking apart a connection block, a wiring connection block. Oops, hit the wrong buttons. And they all come out together, which makes it really simple and not daunting or scary when you're trying to change stuff and modify stuff. It's actually, like I said, the cars are like automotive Lego kits. It's pretty cool. There's so many parts for them and so much stuff you can change. So what do we got here? We got 3. So we'll put actually, I need to go ahead and put the second layer in. And that's where my ladder will be upstairs. And this one had a fireplace too. It's going to be interesting to recreate that fireplace because it had little coves in the side of it that you could see from upstairs. And the little holes in the insides of it that I had chests in, and you could only see them from upstairs. So yeah, that's going to be interesting to recreate for sure. Just do 2 blocks here, and then start it on my roof. Okay. Oh, that is bad. I guess I'm going to have to use some planks too, aren't I? I see some people make some pretty cool looking houses using like wood or this or that to have like the look of shutters and stuff. I don't typically do that. I don't know why. I know I could. I just don't. I just kind of like basic everything, houses and such. I don't know. Well, I say I like basic stuff. You guys have seen my kind of realistic houses there. So I mean I think those are pretty cool. I definitely have a lot of different styles of building in there, and I've used shutters and everything, so I guess I can do that. It's just when I'm building stuff like this, or this type of house, these smaller kind of Minecraft houses, it just feels right to do all kind of this plank, so it feels like a log cabin type thing. what we're going to do is finish up the base structure of this house, and I will put a bed in it, and then that will be the end of this week's video. It'll be kind of a long one this week, but you guys get to see the rebirth of Survival Island, and something I'm very excited about. Gotta be a quicker way to do this. I'm sure there's something I'm not doing right. Well, if I come over here to the side, yeah, it does that. Because they come out almost like facing you. I'm sitting here thinking about the obsidian bunker I made under this. So it was an obsidian bunker with a hole in the wall, and there was a chest right outside the hole in the wall that had obsidian in it, so you could fill the hole. So if you dropped down in there, people wouldn't really know where you went. But if they dug through the obsidian wall, there was a tunnel all the way around the outside of the building. And there was another hole in that wall out there. It was just rock. But there was a 2 block thick obsidian bunker back in that. And you go in there, and there was another chest that had rock and more obsidian, so you could fill in the 2 rock on the front. So if someone did make it through that first obsidian wall, then they would run into, basically, they just wouldn't know where you went, because all they see is just rock everywhere surrounding the bunker. But then if somebody wouldn't, but you'd be 2 blocks deep in obsidian, which basically, I mean, they'd have to mine through 4 blocks to get to you, because of, you have to have 2 blocks to walk through. So if somebody's trying to mine through 4 blocks of obsidian, you could just sit there and whack on them with a sword from the other side of the block, and they couldn't do crap about it. So this is extraordinarily basic. I don't feel like it's as big as the last one was either. I feel like the last one was like longer from front to back. Very well might have been. But like anything else, it's such a small house, it doesn't take but a few minutes to extend it. Of course, it also kind of is interesting dynamic building everything in like fast motion or whatever that potion is, which changes your field of view and makes everything kind of look smaller. We're not trying to hide this or anything, so. Get some lighting and a bed, and it's nighttime outside, which is nice, so we'll go to, there's a button. We will go to sleep, and that will be the end of this week's video, where we've started to recreate Survival Island. Alright guys, like and subscribe, come back for more, we'll see you next week.